Top news as of Monday, January 12, 2026. World news. Turmoil in Iran and Venezuela dominates headlines. The geopolitical landscape is currently defined by two major crises. In Iran, the situation has escalated dramatically. Reports indicate that over 100 security officers have been killed as protesters continue to defy a brutal government crackdown. The regime has imposed a near-total internet blackout to stifle communication, while simultaneously warning the United States and Israel that any external military attack will be met with immediate retaliation. This comes as President Pezeshkian pledges economic overhauls that have so far failed to quell the unrest. Meanwhile, the situation in Venezuela remains volatile following the U.S. operation that resulted in the arrest of President Maduro. The U.S. administration has announced it will control Venezuela's oil sales indefinitely, intending to sell the oil at market prices and manage the revenue. This has sparked localized panic in Caracas, with residents stocking up on supplies amidst fears of further instability. Middle East and Ukraine updates. In the Middle East, the humanitarian crisis in Gaza continues to worsen, with reports of infants freezing to death due to lack of power and shelter. Violence has also spiked in the West Bank, with new raids reported in Hebron and Nablus. In Eastern Europe, the Russia-Ukraine war sees no pause. Russian forces have made confirmed advances in the Donetsk region, while Ukraine has launched drone attacks striking residential areas in Russia's Voronezh region.
Economy. China's economic slowdown and global trade tensions. The global economic focus is heavily centered on China, where new data suggests a continued weakening of the economy. Domestic demand remains sluggish despite government stimulus efforts. The most concerning indicator is a sharp decline in fixed asset investment, driven largely by a 15.9% drop in property investment. Home prices in major cities like Shanghai and Shenzhen are falling, signaling that the property crisis is deepening and creating deflationary pressure that could ripple through global markets. U.S. trade policy shifts. In the U.S., trade policies are becoming increasingly aggressive. President Trump has threatened to sanction countries, including allies like India, if they continue to purchase Russian oil. Furthermore, the U.S. move to control Venezuela's oil output is a strategic pivot intended to stabilize global energy prices while squeezing political rivals. On the agricultural front, India is expecting a record rice crop, which analysts predict will deepen the slide in global rice prices, offering relief to importers but hurting export revenues for other producing nations.
Finance. Markets hit record highs despite uncertainties. Global stock markets have shown remarkable resilience. In the United States, both the Dow Jones Industrial Average and the S&P 500 have set new record highs. This rally comes despite a mixed jobs report that has left investors guessing about the Federal Reserve's next interest rate decision. The market appears to be pricing in optimism that corporate earnings will remain strong regardless of the murky macroeconomic data. Mining mega-merger talks. In Europe, the FTSE 100 also hit a fresh record, driven primarily by massive speculation in the mining sector. Reports have confirmed merger talks between mining giants Rio Tinto and Glencore. If successful, this deal would reshape the global commodities landscape, consolidating control over key resources like copper and lithium, which are essential for the green energy transition. Investors have responded positively, sending shares in both companies soaring.
Technology. CES 2026 wrap-up and the agentic AI era. As CES 2026 Consumer Electronics Show concludes, the tech world is digesting the major trends set for the year. The dominant theme was agentic AI, artificial intelligence that doesn't just answer questions but actively performs tasks on behalf of the user. Google has announced partnerships with major retailers like Walmart to turn its Gemini AI into a virtual merchant capable of executing shopping orders. Cybersecurity and hardware shifts. However, the rise of AI brings new risks. Cybersecurity leaders have issued warnings that 2026 will see a spike in AI-driven cyberattacks, urging organizations to block unauthorized AI browsers that could scrape sensitive data. In hardware news, Dell is executing a strategic reset, refocusing its portfolio on its premium XPS brand to compete more effectively in the high-end PC market. Meanwhile, social media platform X, formerly Twitter, is facing backlash and has restricted image generation on its Grok chatbot following a global outcry over deepfake misuse.